a guy walks into a bar. That's right, we're going to start like this. A guy walks into a bar and he looks at the bartender. He says, "Drinks for you, drinks for me, drinks for everybody." So the bartender pours up some drinks. Everybody has a drink, knocks them back. The guy walks out of the bar without paying. Bartender's standing there scratching his head, carries on with his business. A little while later, the guy walks back into the bar. Once again, "Bartender, drinks for you, drinks for me, drinks for everybody." Bartender's like, "Hey, there's no way this guy's doing this twice." He pours everybody some drinks. Everybody knocks him back. The guy walks back out of the bar. The bartender's like bewildered at this point, scratching his head, says to himself, "Listen, the next time this guy comes in, if he tries this again, I'm putting a whooping on him." Some time goes by. The guy walks back into the bar. "Bartender, drinks for you, drinks for me." Before he could even finish, before he could even utter the end of that sentence, bartender puts the beats on that man. Whoop, throws him out the bar. Bartender's feeling pretty good about himself. This man was ripping him off. Some hours go by. This man comes back into the bar. He looks at the bartender right in his eyes and he says, "Bartender, drinks for me, drinks for everybody." So the bartender pauses for a second and he says, "Wait, no drinks for me?" And the guy looks at the bartender. He says, "No, because you get violent when you drink." Oh, man. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Nick Alphanine. Let's begin here. So we have a little tweet here. This is from a Ripple. And it says, listen, every day we're bringing in the money. Every day they're laying out the plans. The plans that will bring generational wealth. You and I both know it. You've done the research. You've seen everything. We're getting little pieces of information. They're every single day, every week. They're coming out with it at this point. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. That's how far along we are in the process. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says, success happens through change, not chance. And if you remember what I've been saying about chance all along, there is no chance. Chance is but cause and effect, unrecognized. Most people, they'll say, "Oh, you took your chances and XRP exploded." No, no, no. We did our research. Cause and effect. The explosion is the effect. Our accounts exploding is the effect. The cause was all the research that we did, knowing the partnerships, knowing that XRP is the superior technology, understanding also, because so many people are forgetting. So many people are forgetting. Listen. You see this here? Imagine Swift is right here. Put Swift to the back. Guess why? On-demand liquidity is patented. Let me say that again. On-demand liquidity is patented for a reason. That patent is going to come in handy. There's a reason for that. It's going to play a key role. That means they need us. If they want to do anything with on-demand liquidity, if they want to do anything that seems like on-demand liquidity, we have to be a part of it. Do you understand what that means? Also, you understand, if you've been on this channel for a long time, you get it already, you see it. There is a liquidity crisis. Have you not been reading the articles about the banks having all of these problems? Have you not been reading the articles about Credit Suisse? We have them right where we want them. They're having issues and problems. Now they want to merge banks together. No, no, no. That's not going to save you. That is a bandage on a bullet wound. The wise have seen what is to come. Now you see the banks shuddering. You see the banks bleeding out. And that plays right into our hands. Oh, it's beautiful. Have you seen it? Muy linda, mi gente. Can you see the vision? It's right there. Aquí. Verlo. You see? Right there. Oh, I'm so ready. We're so close. But let's get back to this article, okay? This is on Ripple.com, and it says, it's time to build a more efficient, dynamic, and transparent financial system. Do you understand? This is so powerful. They went from, and I said this to people at the beginning of this year, that cross-border remittances, that was just to get the door open. And when the door was cracked, we slid right on in. Oh, what's going on in there? And we came right through the door. That was misdirection. Ripple had everyone, including Swift, and a huge swath of XRP believers looking in the direction of cross-border payments. All the while, they were telling you, they were dropping little hints where they would every once in a while say, all the money. But the people thought that was unbelievable. You see, it's not just about all the money. Well, I won't say not just. They're aiming for the stars. If they hit the moon, okay. Either way, the price explodes. But they're aiming for the stars. But they had everybody looking at the moon. They always wanted to move as much value as possible. They are a for-profit company. Why would you want anything less? For-profit companies, especially ambitious ones led by individuals like Brooks Entwistle, Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, do you notice a pattern in their behavior? They're all winners. They're all very aggressive winners. Aggressive winners don't settle. They don't settle. They go for everything. They go for all the touchdowns. They crush the enemy. And what does that mean for you and I? That means a lot of money coming into XRP because of all the deals. You can't bring in that many banks if you're not aggressive, if you're not dominant, if you settle. They never settled. Cross-border remittance is just a piece of the puzzle. That was a small entryway. And it was a proving ground to prove that the idea worked. You saw the initial offerings that they did, like for Santander. Like, here, go ahead and take this and play with it. And they let them use that system as a testing ground. And then Santander did what? Exactly what we said they would do. What did Bank of America do? Exactly what we said they would do. Last year we said it, didn't we? And they spread the word. They started praising Ripple, praising XRP. And never forget that on-demand liquidity is patented. I reiterate, repetition is the mother of learning. And oh boy, the mama has been teaching, hasn't she? That on-demand liquidity is patented. They're going to need us. They have to eliminate pre-funding of accounts. They cannot touch that. When you have a patent on something, ooh, better give me a piece of the pie. XRP is so important. People have no idea what they're holding. This is not hype. I don't care if you hold it or not. You can sell all your XRP. You can have zero XRP. It means nothing to me because the banks are here. And it's undeniable now. A true, pure bank coin with trillions that will flow into it. We've looked at the numbers. You can go to those past videos. We don't have to go over that right now. Interbank payments, millions of dollars. Trade finance, millions of dollars. Yeah, interbank payments, millions of dollars. Trade finance, trillions of dollars. Tokenization of debt, trillions of dollars. Real estate, tokenized real estate value, trillions of dollars. We're there. Payroll, multis of billions of dollars. If I said that right. But big money. Payroll is there. I mean, we are into everything that is big money. What is there not? How are people not seeing this? But the great part is, it doesn't matter if they don't see. It doesn't matter. The banks are right there. So they're not even hiding it anymore. They're literally saying they're setting up a new financial system. Help us build a new financial system. Ripple's crypto solutions empower innovative finance leaders to drive business advantage from crypto today. It's time to build a more efficient, dynamic, transparent financial system. The old system is over. The banks have been freezing people out of accounts for so many different reasons. The banks have been getting hacked. People have been getting their identities stolen. They're checking their accounts and saying, what's this transaction here? What's this transaction? Right, right. The banks are not secure. The central banks have no idea what they're doing. Let's talk about that. They're crushing the economies with interest rates. Then if they take their foot off the gas and they ease off of the interest rates, whoa, Nelly, it's going to get worse. They know that. They were raising them to bring down inflation. Inflation is going to continue to go up. If they take their foot off the gas, if they cower now, inflation is going to explode. That's going to happen anyway, but it will happen more exponentially. The jobs. Listen, did you see the jobs report they put out? You see the numbers that they're putting out there? Listen, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I'm telling you. I think I have an article here. We're going to get into it. Don't worry. Bear with me. This is all important in my humble opinion. I'm trying to give you everything I've got. How can you have so many mass layoffs, but then you have the numbers that they put out recently, or that they're talking about recently? Something doesn't add up. Now, I can see if they're putting out certain numbers, and so there's mass layoffs, and then people that are getting laid off. And some of these are high-level positions. There was a lot of heads of company, like top-level people at companies getting laid off. If you saw the articles. Now, if they're getting laid off and they're getting new jobs immediately, maybe these numbers make some sense. But as of right now, that doesn't make any sense to me. Or they could be getting laid off and getting some of these lower-level jobs just to carry them over. That also could be possible. But I think it's highly unlikely. I really do. So some of their numbers don't make sense, but I believe I have an article in here about that, so we'll get to that at a later time. Now, let's proceed here. So, yeah, they're not hiding it. New financial system is on the way. They're confirming it more and more every day, every week. And I do believe that at some point, people will, I say this again, people will be priced out of XRP in particular. A few of them, I believe people will be priced out of easily. XRP is one, Quant is another. And if something happens with Cello, people can get priced out of that easily as well because of its circulating supply. Especially if they involve themselves in any type of universal basic income, which is questionable at this point, given the politics of the United States, right? Because there's only a certain party that was pushing for a universal basic income, but that party isn't doing very well right now. So, we'll keep our eye on that because, of course, all of these different happenings affect the money. Then you have the possible collapse of the dollar for a variety of reasons. And when I say collapse of the dollar, I'm not just talking about from where it is now. I'm talking about the utter and complete collapse of it as a world reserve currency. That is coming. That's inevitable. SWIFT is nothing. Let's just put SWIFT to the side also. I said this before. SWIFT is nothing. They're nobody. No one wants to use a weaponized system. I don't know what people don't get. But you still have these fudders talking, oh, SWIFT is doing this and SWIFT is doing nothing. Who's going to use them? Europe and who? The United States, just the West. That's it. And the West is on a decline. The West is on a decline. Europe is hurting themselves. They're suffering so bad, it's unbelievable. They don't even care about their people at this point. The government, the high-level officials. Let me say that. You got to watch the words you use on YouTube now. They've gone nuts, with taking actions against people. So you got to be careful now. But yeah, the way that they're operating, their monetary policy, the sanctions and things like that have really just been injurious to themselves. None of what they've been doing is making any type of sense. So who's going to be using SWIFT? Everyone's going to move out of that system. There's new systems available that are superior, better, and they're not controlled by individuals and entities that want to weaponize those systems. Why would they use it? So, sure, I'll put this out there. It's just logical that some entities will continue to use it for a little bit longer. But the inevitability of the ending of that system is already quite apparent. Now, let's go here. This is on U.Today, and it's titled, Ripple's Defense in SEC Lawsuit Might Be Crypto's Best Chance. Stuart Algorand. Okay, let's scroll down here and read this little tidbit. It says, according to Ripple's general counsel, Stuart Algorand, Ripple's defense against the SEC lawsuit may be crypto's best chance for regulatory clarity. I've been saying this the whole time. It's like myself and the Ripple team are on the same We're on the same vibration, the same wavelength. We're right there on the same page. Ripple has so far incurred more than $100 million in legal charges in defense. Well, let me rewind that a little bit. Ripple's defense against the SEC lawsuit may be crypto's best chance for regulatory clarity. Wait, no. No. And I feel that Mr. Algorand knows this. It will be the bank coins in particular. It will be their best chance for regulatory clarity. Everybody else is on their own. And I say that for a variety of reasons. One of the biggest ones because certain things that other crypto entities have done, questionable. I'll leave it at that. And if you think the SEC doesn't know that, what can I say? I'm just a humble researcher. The bank coins. And what does that mean? When the bank coins, XLM, XRP Algo, Hbar, Hbar, Cello, Quant, when they have regulatory clarity, everyone will run to them because they still want to make some crypto money. All of that money will flood into the bank coins. So then you have all that retail money flooding into the bank coins, which I don't care about the retail at all whatsoever, but it will come. I have to take that into account. That retail money will come in, the institutional money on the side will come in, then that bank money will come. And it will begin the flood. And when the central banks come in, the tsunami will wash everything. The money, sniff it. Whoa, no. Don't be like everybody else. Sniff the money with me. Ready? Feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. Smell the money. Do you want? Listen, when you're closing deals, when you want the big money, you have to be laser focused on it. Feel the money, taste the money. See and visualize the deals already landed. See and visualize yourself conquering that meeting, slay in the gym. See and visualize yourself doing that PR. Visualization is powerful. Sniff the money. Yeah, money hairs on the back of my neck begin to stand up. We're so close. Now, as I said, it will still take some years, but everything happens in degrees, and you will see if everything goes according to plan. Not financial advice, but you will start to see that price go up, as you already have. It will go up in little increments or meteoric. It could be meteoric increments, but what I'm saying is incrementally. That's what's important. Incrementally, based on the different happenings, like winning the SEC case or any type of regulatory clarity, mass adoption, big announcements, flipping of the switch, all the infrastructures finally being set up and doing interbank payments for the central banks, interbank payments for the private banks, tokenization of debt. So you can logically see how the prices will be going up as time goes on. Payroll. So if you can stay privy to and abreast of the different catalysts, don't ever forget it. I know we've been in the bear market for a long time. There hasn't been a lot of big catalysts, but never forget to stay up to date on the catalyst. That's going to tell you where the money is coming from. And the catalyst will tell you about it before everybody else knows. That's what's important about it. It's important to get in before everybody else knows. And they start making that price go all the way up. Then you got to buy in at a high. No, that's why a lot of us prepared ahead of time when it came to the bank coins. We prepared ahead of time. Bought in at a low. Same reason why a lot of people are still sitting pretty. They're still doing really good. Even considering the bear market, because last year when people got in, they got in at a very, very low amount, price. So even now, things still look okay for a lot of different assets. Trust me, it does. It does. You'd be surprised, But the catalysts are what let you know about something beforehand, but it takes research. You can't rely on these external sources because they have their own best interests at heart. So, this is why quick money plays are dangerous to listen to, to get from other people, because a lot of times they already got in at a low. So then by the time they tell you, that price already has gone up. So then once you get in, they're selling. Then you bought in at this particular price, then the price goes down. You see, that's the danger of a lot of quick money plays. But anyway, just in general, the catalyst will help you get in early if you can stay up to date on the catalyst. I'm giving you guys a lot today, but sometimes I feel like that. I'm trying to put out a lot. Here's a little bit from the tweet from Stuart Algorand. He says, "Thanks at Nikki Kristoff for having me. Was great chatting with you on the generational changing promise of blockchain." You think that wasn't for a reason that man phrased it that way? "And crypto technology, all things at Ripple, the need for greater regulatory clarity and even," and it says beanie babies. That is hilarious. Let's continue on here. Algorand has often called out what he terms an overreach of the SEC. We know that, stating that SEC Chair Gary Gensler has adopted an aggressive regulatory stance instead of regulatory stance. It's not. Stop giving these people so much credit, and stop saying things that in a way that is respectful to them. In that way, I'm not saying be disrespectful, but I'm saying call it. Don't sugarcoat things. All right, it's not a regulatory stance. All they're doing is fining people and collecting money. That's all they're doing. There is no aggressive regulatory stance. They're not regulating anything. There's no regulatory clarity. There's no clarity. So how can there be regulations? Can you please tell me the regulations? Please. I'll give you a second. Go ahead. Tell me the regulations. There are none. So it's not an aggressive regulatory stance. They're simply fining everybody in sight. They are suing everybody that they can and collecting money. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. On one hand, they're just collecting money. On the other hand, they are completely power tripping, ego mad. This one here, now we're starting to get into a little bit of Algorand news. This is from Victor Mapunga. Says, happy to have contributed to the second edition of the Africa Blockchain Report. Watch out for @FlexID official in the report powered by Algo Foundation. You can now download the second edition of Africa Blockchain Report in partnership with Algorand Foundation. And they have the QR code here for anybody to scan and download this. Algorand is deep in Africa. Everybody who's wise knows what's going to explode. They know Latin America is going to explode. Africa, we went over this. They also know Southeast Asia is going to explode. They're getting in there deep because all that money, all that all that value is going to flow across the blockchain. I'm telling you right now. Middle East, the same thing. They want to be able to maximize what they're doing. There's going to be a lot more natural resources coming out of Africa, and not only that, in addition to that, their economies or their technological advances are going to grow by leaps and bounds. Their technological capabilities are growing by leaps and bounds. Not only that, they've begun to finally rebel in a lot of ways against a lot of the entities that have come into Africa and parasitically feed off of Africa, so that those external entities are benefiting from Africa, but not the African continent itself. That is coming to an end. Africa has begun to rebel, just as Latin America has begun to rebel. And what does that mean when it comes to these new technologies? That means that Africa, theoretically speaking, will be utilizing a lot of these new technologies so that they cannot be bound by systems like, I'm just going to give you an example, like SWIFT, or any of these weaponized systems that are used to control the people. They're going to use these new technologies, DLTs, Algorand, Ripple, Stellar. Who else is there in Africa? Hbar. So that they can benefit from everything that they're doing. And that means a lot of value will be flowing across the blockchain. Remember, tokenization of gold. They are discovering more gold than ever in certain places in Africa. And I can tell you what else. A whole lot of other minerals and resources they are discovering there. Same thing in Latin America. They are exploding in a variety of ways. Especially business-wise. There's a lot of big businesses moving to Latin America. I told you before. The mainstream media doesn't want you to know this because they still want you to believe that the West is the best. And they don't want the regular people knowing about these other places because the regular people might get up and say, you know what, I'm going to go move somewhere else, like a lot of people have been doing. We covered an article recently on digital nomads, right? They try to say, oh, crypto nomads. No, the title is digital nomads. And in a lot of countries, I'm just going to give it to you. They even have specialized visas for digital nomads. That's how popular it is to be a digital nomad, which means you can move anywhere. You either work for yourself or you work from home, quote unquote, whatever, virtual work. And so you can move around anywhere that you please. Digital nomads. So you also have that. So they don't want people, the mainstream media and who they serve don't want the people to know that, because the people might go to Africa. Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful in Africa. They might go to Central and Latin America, and they have been en masse getting charged those special prices. Pie on their face. You should know how to negotiate and haggle. You should know how to negotiate and haggle. That's right. And learn a little bit of Spanish as well. Know that everybody speaks Spanish a little bit differently. Learn what, and then if you know that, then you'll be able to negotiate a little bit better on your prices. You won't be getting those special prices. Oh man, not that they care. They're spending those dollars while the dollar has some power. So don't have to worry about that too much yet. Just yet. So, you have all of these different things going on. I'll tell you what, it hasn't been boring. You can't say it. You can say that. So let's continue on here. So then we have another tweet from Algorand. Here it says, our CEO, Stacey Wharton, sat down with @FinTech TV Global's @Patricia to discuss Algorand's role in developing a more equitable and transparent financial system. So now you have Ripple. Nobody's talking. Listen, are you seeing what's happening? Nobody's talking about cross-border payments. They are talking about establishing the new financial system outright. They are telling the public. Fudders be damned. The new financial system is coming. Transparent role in developing. Let's take out the words equitable. Let's take out the words transparent. Algorand's role is in developing a financial system. They just said that. And Ripple just said that they're building the new financial system. Hold on to your blazers, everyone. We got a few years. We have a few years. But things are going to start to heat up. In my humble opinion, I said this many times, 2023. Especially because the case, the SEC case will be coming to a close. Then everyone will feel comfortable making all the announcements they've been holding back. And a lot of those non-disclosure agreements will be done and over with. And a lot of those institutions, the big institutional money that the head of SBI Remit said was on the side, obviously, that came from having conversations with very important people, they will step in and they will sign memorandums of understanding that will shake the earth, because we have what they need. They need us for on-demand liquidity. They need us for instant liquidity. They also need us for overledger, combining the DLTs with the legacy system. That's quant. But I just wanted to highlight that. They're all talking about building a new financial system. They didn't used to speak like that. That also tells you how close we are to there being not only just mass adoption, regulatory clarity, but how close we are to the fall of the legacy system. I mean, it's been crumbling to the ground as we speak. There's no traceability of you know how many different containers go missing and products go missing? That doesn't have to happen anymore with distributed ledger technologies. With Algorand as a traceability protocol, we know it can be used for that. Then we saw a couple of months ago that XRPL can be used as traceability protocol. Then we know the big dog on the block, VeChain. Oh, VeChain's going to explode as well. Even though it's not a bank coin, it's one of our most esteemed utility coins. So we know that they're the big dog when it comes to traceability. So nothing will be lost ever again. And that's another thing. So you have this war going on within the, how can I say it, the powers of the world. You know why that war is going on? Because so much money goes missing. Because there's so many backroom deals. Because, I mean, there's so much going on. There's entities that don't want that to happen anymore. No, they want to know where all the transactions are going. They want to know who was where, when, within their organizations. This is real mafia-like stuff. You don't get that? You ever see how the mafia, like these powers operate like mafia members? You ever see the movies where somebody comes in for a sit down and the big boss is sitting there and he's like, hey, you know, what are you doing here? Oh yeah, that's right. I might call if I called you for a sit down. That's right. So I was going over your books the other day, and I noticed there's a few hundred missing. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? And the other guy's like, what? Well, Joey, you know, Joey, I always handing in all the money. I would never do that for you. Do that to you. You're my uncle. It's always his uncle. And he's like, oh, is that right? Because Paulie said he literally saw you take the money. And you've been funneling the money. See, so there's all of this distrust within them. They want to track each other more than anything. They want to know where each other goes. And if you listen to a lot of the recent ECB meetings, they've been telling. That's why you see some people are bullish on it within those entities, and some are bearish on these technologies and those entities. They've been going to war for some time. We've been talking about it for a year now. But one of them will win. And it will be the one. Like, a lot of things will have to end once they can trace everything, and it's immutable, put on the distributed ledger technologies on the blockchains and the hash graphs. So then there's that. Let's continue on here. So then we have, I thought I was going to get to the XLM news before Hbar, but we'll cover this here. Oh my goodness. Hbar has been going insane. Have you seen it? Hbar Foundation tweeted this. First, we saw banks. Look how they just letting you know the swag is insane. They're showing off at this point. First, we saw banks at DBS Bank, at SB Group, at Nomura, banks that we have covered in the past. We went over their quarterlies and financials, by the way. At Shinhan joined the Hbar Governing Council to explore distributed ledger technologies. Today, we witness a maturation of the market, welcoming the first global investment company at ABRDN_PLC. $529 billion worth of AUM to the council. Do you doubt Hbar still? I'm ready. I've been ready. We are excited to announce that at ABRDN_PLC, the UK-based asset manager currently holding 508 billion euros worth of AUM, has joined the Hbar Governing Council in a move to transform existing structural inefficiencies in the fund management industry using DLT. Of course, that means Hbar. Okay, now, the Governing Council. Of course, the Governing Council is still going to wait for regulatory clarity. Why would they not? They're not above the law. And as you can see, nobody is above these certain powers pressing them. So a lot of people say, well, the Governing Council hasn't meant anything to this point. First of all, the Governing Council is very smart. They're very wise. So they're going to take their time to set up the proper infrastructures. They're not going to roll out a project that's going to fail because they haven't had time to properly educate their people, set up infrastructures, and have everything ready to go and test it a myriad of times to make sure it goes off smoothly. They're not going to do that. No, they're the opposite. They're quite patient and meticulous. So they're going to take their time. All good things come to those who are patient. So then you have this tweet from Hbar, and it says, drop. Big news. Drop is officially a payment app for Shopify merchants to use. Accept micropayments, bill referral incentives, grow customers, and keep more of every dollar earned. This is on Hbar. They've been doing a great job as of late. My goodness. They've done, they have one of the most meteoric changes in advertising and in partnerships that I've seen all year. and they definitely have kept their word. I respect that. A lot of companies give you they put out an idea, they tell you they're going to do something, and they don't honor that. Hbar has definitely honored their word. And I'm very happy with that, and I believe Hbar will explode 100%. They're doing a great job. They have some banks lined up. They were tested by banks over the summer. Their announcements came out right around the same time that Algorand's announcements came out. Well, really not announcements. It was the banks themselves announcing that they were testing Algorand. But those were about around the same time. So they are another bank coin which I expect to have huge news coming out of in 2023, in my humble opinion. And will explode once there's regulatory clarity. They have so many powerful entities waiting on the sidelines, ready to pounce. That is unbelievable. But I'm ready. My bags are packed, as they say. You know, and I don't play around with bank coins. I see this a lot. I don't know what's going on. These people, oh, I sold all my XRP. I sold all my Hbar. That's you. That's you. That's you. Listen, I would never play with the bank coins. I'm here to the bitter end. Like when everybody else, it seems like there's nobody left. Just wait a minute. Let the smoke clear. You're going to see alphanine right there. I know where these prices can go. I know the truth. I know the true value of XRP, of Quant, XLM. And I'm going to see it through. These people, they try to break you and shake you. Don't let them do that. They've been trying hard lately. They want you to sell so bad. Not going to happen. No. Like I said, I don't care who sells. It means nothing to me. No, I'm here to the end. And I don't expect anybody to follow me. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not. I just know where I stand. And I want those people out there to know who are causing people to sell. I see people all the time in comment sections, not mine, in other people's comment sections saying, I sold all my XRP because of you. So these fudders are actually influencing people to sell their XRP. What? What? Unbelievable. But I want them to know that there's a few out there. I'm one of them. You're never going to break and shake. You're never going to make us budge. You're not going to make us take a step back. That's not going to happen. We know what we hold. We did our research. We're wise. And yes, everything is risky. Everything is a chance. And there's the smallest, tiniest possibility. Hey, maybe things don't go the way that everybody planned it. That's not why we're here. We're not here for a guarantee. But we know the higher probability is that everything is going according to plan based on what we have read, based on what has been put out. The new financial system is coming. You hear them telling you about it. You see the partnerships, and 1 + 1 = 2. Deductive reasoning. So no. I hope it hurts the hearts of the fudders to see us. They're the enemy. I don't have any mercy for the enemy. None. Now, let's continue on here. Oh, man. So here we have a little bit of XLM news. Session alert. Regulation. Crypto killer or the key to its future with @Caroline D. Pham and Candace Kelly on October the 12th, 3:10 p.m. There you have it, everyone. So I'm looking for some big news or some important statements to come out of this. It's going to give us a lot of key insight, in my humble opinion. We will be able to tear apart everything that Caroline D. Pham says, the head of the CFTC. This is huge. So now you have the date. The date is October 12th, 3:10 p.m. There you go. So sometime after that, maybe we get a transcript. Maybe we get a blog from Stellar, something like that. And we will be able to comb over their statements and glean into what has come out of this. But I'll tell you what, before they step on that stage, they have already had a bevy of meetings. They don't just step up there fresh and just going off the top of their heads. No, they sit in a few meetings. They speak about these things. What are they going to go over? So they've had a few meetings is what I'm saying. And I guarantee you, of course, this is all about the CFTC taking over and providing regulatory clarity for crypto, as it should, at least when it comes to the bank coins, which are currencies, which are commodities. It should be regulated by the CFTC, in my humble opinion, and not the insane SEC. That's what this is all about. We just saw Ripple have a meeting with Caroline D. Pham as well. And Brad Garlinghouse looked very, very happy. And we know how persuasive Mr. Garlinghouse is. We also know how persuasive Danelle Dixon is. Just like Stacey Wharton, we had a lot of great leaders in these bank coin companies, and they've been doing a great job. And I hope they continue, because that's going to mean that money will come. It will increase the certainty of it. So this is huge. So October 12th, there you have it. Sometime after that, hopefully, we'll be hearing something. So now let's move into these articles here. This is from bncrypto.com. And it goes as such. Middle East crypto adoption outstripping the rest of the world. Of course, because they understand where everything is heading. They don't want the weaponized SWIFT system. They don't want the weaponized dollar. The West has shot itself in the foot by weaponizing everything. They used everything to control everybody while everybody grew more powerful. And now they can shake off those control manacles and mechanisms and say no more. And so the Middle East is looking towards DLTs. You know, we were deep in there with Ripple. Ripple is deep in the Middle East. You saw the work we were doing there, didn't you? Didn't Stellar also have a couple of meetings over there? Right. And there was someone else. I can't remember if it was Algorand. Was it Algorand or was it Hbar? Somebody else was over there. I can't put my finger on it, but I just remember someone else was over there. But nonetheless, the bank coins are deep in the Middle East. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says, Turkey and Egypt, the fastest growing markets. The report highlighted a pair of markets that demonstrated the prevailing use of cryptocurrencies in the region to preserve value in the face of debasing currencies. What's doing that right now? What's causing all their currencies to get squashed? The dollar. You see how it's, and you've been reading about it, that the dollar, this power of the dollar right now, how it's gotten so powerful, has been crushing everybody else's currencies. But the dollar is soon to crash for a variety of reasons, so that's not going to be long-lived. To preserve value in the face of debasing currencies and to make remittance payments. Of course, we can do all of that with ease and without weaponization, and while moving all of that value and bringing in trillions of dollars into the bank coins, which will make you and I wealthy beyond belief. Not just from these regions, but from all over the world. We may not move all the money. We don't need all the money. We just need enough of the value. And I believe, and it will take some time, there will be so much value. Do the calculations yourself. Oh, okay, I want to throw this out there also. How do you think they're going to handle the world debt, the global debt? They don't have an answer for that right now. They don't. That's why they haven't been able to get it down. You see all the taxing they've been doing? Trust me, I told you before, carbon tax is coming. That's why they're doing all of this greening things up. They want to tax the people a little bit more. It's all about the money. Why? How can they maximize on that? There's a lot more to come, by the way. They're going to attach strings to everything. You're going to have to pay a price for everything that you do. Well, those who stay in the matrix, so to speak, who obey the system. Every time the system says jump, they say how high. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those individuals. It's not going to be everybody. There's a balance to everything. But how are they going to tackle the global debt? How is the United States going to handle the United States debt, the national debt, which is astronomical? You do know what happens to a country when it has too much debt. You did see what happened to countries in the past. Ruling nations in the past when they had too much debt. You saw what happened to them as well, didn't you? It's not going to be good. So, who has the solution to that? The distributed ledger technologies. They're not telling the people about this. How? Because of the liquidity, because of the value it can move, because of traceability, because of patching up holes in the system where billions and billions of dollars go missing. Oh, they don't like to talk about that in the news too much either, but you can look that up for yourself. Everything I'm saying, you can look up for yourself, and I want you to. I want you to look up the things that I say. I want you to question me. I want you to learn on your own. See it with your own eyes. Billions and trillions of dollars, if you add it all up, just going missing, right? No, that won't happen anymore. Because with traceability protocols, they'll know where everything is going. The DLTs have what they need to solve the problems that exist now that will break the world. Like I said, I believe a partial collapse is coming. It will be devastating if it does indeed happen, but they can take action against it. But they have to act fast. That's why they're scrambling right now, because they see it's not just the people at the bottom that are going to suffer this time. No, people at the top and the bottom will suffer this time. It's the big one this time. We're playing for all the marbles this time. So they can act on it, and that's why they're scrambling. DLTs have what they need. That's one of the reasons they're going to explode. This is why all the other countries that are wise are stepping away from that system. The SWIFT system, the dollar, the petrodollar systems, all of these systems that have painted themselves into a destructive and detrimental corner. The wise nations are moving away from that so they can survive. Why? Because the DLTs have what they need in order to survive. Liquidity cushions. Liquidity cushions. Traceability. Low cost. Which means what? Really, let's just boil it down to the essence. That means they're shaking themselves free of the parasites. That's what it means. I have some more articles here, but oh man, I don't want to keep you guys here too long, all right? Let's see if there's any very, very, very important articles here. This one here, let's just cover this one here. We'll close out with this. This is from CoinGate.com. Check them out. They've been doing a great job. U.S. jobless claims released. This is the article I was talking about. That's real suspicious to me. When you're talking about numbers, this is what I was talking about. Jobless claims released. A strong crypto rally expected. I do believe there's going to be a crypto rally for sure. But especially as the dollar crashes. But let's take a look at this. The U.S. Department of Labor released initial jobless claims for the week. Oh, for the week. That's interesting. You see how they... Very slick. Why not the month? Why not the last 2 months? I want to see those numbers. Because there's been a massive layoffs. And I know everything that they do is very strategic in how they release information to direct your thinking a certain way. Well, I don't want to be directed. Show me everything outright and allow me to make my own reasonings. But let's read this. Initial job claims rose to 219,000. The Economist expected the jobless claims to be at 204,000. The claims went up from 193,000 last week. Okay, so there is sort of a significant rise in claims. However, it should be much higher given all the layoffs we've been seeing as of late. There's been so many. Last week to 219K. This week, the spike in jobless claims can set off a crypto rally. The initial jobless claims are the number of people filing for unemployment insurance. The strong labor market is in line with the high inflation levels in the economy. The Fed believes that a tight labor market with low unemployment can increase inflation levels in the country. Therefore, an increase in unemployment numbers will certainly help temper the hawkish stance of the market. How jobless claims can start a crypto rally. The macroeconomic environment is dictating the outlook for the crypto market. The Fed continues its restrictive monetary policy making in an effort. Oh my goodness, the Fed. Oh man, they don't know what they're doing. They're so flip-floppish. They're cowards. In my humble opinion, with all due respect, they're cowards. They don't have the heart to do what was necessary to be done. And they fumbled the ball in the beginning anyway. They shouldn't have done that. If they knew what they were doing, if the people actually had put people into office that knew what they were doing, they wouldn't have fumbled the ball in the first place. And yet the people still believe in them. Oh no, the Fed knows what they're doing. I hear this all the time. No, they don't. If they knew what they were doing across the board, they weren't so busy going out to their dinners, flying in their private jets and living in mansions when they're government workers, they're public servants. If they weren't so busy doing that, maybe they could have focused on keeping with good monetary policy. They don't even look like they want to be at work with such a position when you see them talk. They barely say anything. They're leaving people guessing. Everybody's making speculations when the Fed should be talking with clarity. They should clearly be telling you what they're going to do, but they really don't do that. Maybe, I don't know. Then you have articles written, you can tell by the articles. Oh, it might be hawkish, I don't know. Maybe they're not hawkish. Nobody knows. These people are talking in ciphers. You gotta play the guessing game with the Fed. That's mind-blowing. And the people accept it. Unbelievable. I told you, listen, we made good calls all year, haven't we? I told you what was going to happen with the housing market. I said that at the beginning of this year, what's happening with the housing market. Come on, man. I hate to even say come on, man, anymore. They ruined that. However, Bloomberg economists believe that the number of claims still remains historically low. S&P 500 in the futures erased their losses on the back of a spike in unemployment numbers. However, initial and continuing claims still remain historically low. Wait, before you said believe. Is it historically low or you believe it's historically low? You have to watch the words. The words are important how they use them. Words are like magic. Right? You have to be careful what they say, what they use. Bloomberg economists believe, that's the first sentence, believe that the number of claims still remains low. They believe or it is. Then they go on to say it with certainty. So believe is not with certainty. But then they go on to speak with certainty in that third sentence. However, initial and continuing claims still remain historically low. Which one is it? See? You have to be certain of things if you want people to trust you. So, now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.